Welcome to our lecture online. Now let's take a look at the quantum mechanic nature or the quantum nature of oscillators. Just like with small particles, that if they're small enough and move slow enough, they actually have wave-like properties. And as particles become larger, they no longer behave like waves. Well, quantum oscillators are exactly the same. If the masses on the oscillators are small enough, the oscillators will behave like quantum oscillators, meaning that the energy levels differences between quantum states are actually noticeable, and so the differences are step-like functions rather than continuous functions of continuous increases in energy as the quantum state increases. So let's take a typical oscillator like a diatomic molecule that might have a spring constant equivalent of 2,000 newtons per meter and a mass of each of the atoms of about 30 atomic mass units. Well, the angular frequency of that would be about 2 times 10 to the 14th per second, which means 200 trillion per second. And if we convert that to the actual oscillatory frequency, we get about 32 oscillations per second, or 32 trillion oscillations per second, which is quite rapid. And because of that, we can see that the oscillator does have indeed quantum steps between the quantum states. Now, the energy of the photon that would either be absorbed or emitted by such an oscillator can be calculated by setting the energy of the photon equal to the energy differences between any two adjacent states, which is h bar omega. If we then solve that for the wavelength of the photon, we get hc over the energy difference between two energy states on the oscillator, which is h bar omega, which can then be solved for the wavelength of the photon being equal to 2 pi times the speed of light divided by the angular frequency of the oscillator. When we plug in the values that we just obtained, we can see that the wavelength associated from such an oscillator that would either be generated or absorbed by such an oscillator is about 9,000 nanometers, about 9 micrometers, which is in the infrared range. And so you can see there's definitely a quantum mechanic property to that oscillator. But what if the mass in the oscillator becomes larger? We already realize that if the mass becomes larger, omega becomes smaller. And if omega becomes smaller, the energy difference between the states becomes smaller as well. So what if we took a grain of sand, for example, that has a mass of 5 milligrams? Now, of course, grains of sand come in all sizes and shapes, but the typical size is about 5 milligrams. That means you need about 200 grains of sand for a gram. That makes about sense. And so if we take the same spring constant as before of a diatomic molecule, but now a mass of 5 milligrams, and of course this is a very hypothetical oscillator, then you can see when we solve for omega, now we get 20,000 instead of 200 trillion per second. And if we plug that into our equation, you can see that the wavelength that would either be generated by an adjacent jump or absorbed by such an oscillator, such a hypothetical oscillator, would have a wavelength of 94,000 meters. Well, that's a very long radio wave and no longer considered to be a photon. This would be kind of like a continuous electromagnetic wave from a very large oscillator, like a very large antenna producing very long waves. And so you can see at that point you no longer would have a quantum mechanic effect. The differences between adjacent levels would be so tiny you can no longer recognize the individual steps. It would be a continuous function between energy and states of the oscillator. And so you can see then you no longer have what we call a quantum mechanic oscillator, but simply a normal oscillator. So again, to have a quantum mechanic oscillator, you need to have very small atoms moving at very high oscillatory speeds or very high oscillatory frequencies and with a very strong spring constant. So typically atoms within an object or atoms within a diatomic molecule kind of fit the bill there. And that's how we know when we have a quantum mechanic nature of an oscillator.